He removed Violet! He moved items from Violet 3 to... He's win trading!
Teamfight Tactics pro Shitouren has been accused of win trading and throwing one of his matches at the game's World Championship. This has sparked outrage within the community, with many calling for Riot to punish Shitouren. But in a detailed report, Riot has explained that although they acknowledge that his gameplay was peculiar, they won't be taking any action. Here's why. Teamfight Tactics, or TFT, is Riot's auto chess battler within the League universe. If you don't know how these games work, essentially you face off against 7 other people in a chess-like arena where you select units who fight for you in a round. As the game progresses, you earn gold and items to make your units and army stronger, with the goal of making it to the top 4 or winning outright. Any placement in the top 4 will net you LP to advance your rank or move you up in a tournament setting. There's definitely a degree of RNG, but there are still metas, comps, positioning, and a thriving competitive scene around the world. And our story today is from the Arcane Tactician's Crown, the TFT World Championship, and more specifically, the last set of the Swiss stage. Now, heading into the final 4 of the final round, Chinese player Xiaopimi had enough points to lock in his spot, while Experion and Shitouren were already eliminated from the grand finals no matter what they did. That said, Lilu, who was facing Experion, did still have a chance if he placed above 4th. And this is where things get spicy. Lilu and Shitouren both lost on stage 6, round 3, but Shitouren took more damage against his opponent Xiaopimi than Lilu did against Experion, meaning Lilu placed 3rd in that lobby and locked in the final spot for the grand finals. As a result, Precedent, who had a shot of making it if the results were different, ended up being eliminated after all the tiebreakers were calculated. And normally, that would just be the way the cookie crumbles. Except, Shitouren was immediately accused of throwing against Xiaopimi and win trading so that Lilu could get a higher placement. This is because Shitouren, who is a professional player, made decisions that no one of an even remotely similar skill level would make. In the clip we showed earlier, TFT Pro and streamer Send accused Shitouren of sandbagging for Lilu before the round even started because his positioning was so bad. And if that wasn't blatant enough for some people, Shitouren also removed the items from his tier 3 Violet, one of his strongest units, and then slowly added them to his tier 2 Vi, giving him a considerably weaker board for no apparent reason.
There is no way you move items from a Violet 3 that is no scout, no pivot onto a Vi 2? That can't be correct. That can't be correct. There's no argument for that whatsoever. If he had beaten Sapumi here, Lilu would be in 4th place and wouldn't have made it.
In the aftermath, countless fans, commentators, and pros started to accuse Shitouren of win trading and calling for his immediate ban. And as I mentioned, this left 4 players at the 65-point cutoff, resulting in tiebreakers coming into play that moved Lilu forward.
Don't tell me this is updated. Don't tell me this is tiebreak included. Do not tell me this is tiebreak included. They have legitimately just win traded this guy.
Now, if this is true and Shitouren did win trade for Lilu, the follow-up question would be, why did he do it? Most of the time, you assume that pros match fix or win trade for some sort of monetary gain. They either agree with another player to lose in exchange for money, Bitcoin, or in the case of the infamous iBuyPower scandal, skins. However, there is a claim that this was done for another reason. Lilu and Shitouren are both players from China, leaving some to suspect that this was done solely to move a Chinese player forward to give the country a higher chance of winning. As an outsider, that does sound a bit crazy to me, but this isn't the first accusation of its kind. In fact, Tartman, who placed 13th at this event, accused Chinese players of collusion back in August of last year and included many examples. Now, regardless of why he did it, if he did it, this was still a really big deal, and people wanted an official response. And shortly after the incident, Riot's competitive TFT team released a lengthy statement. In their conclusion, they say that although they agree Shitouren played well below their standards and made, quote, unconventional strategic choices, there is no evidence to suggest he did it on purpose. Instead, they claim it could be because Shitouren was playing on PC instead of mobile like he's used to, or other reasons. But regardless, unless sufficient evidence comes to light that he breached Riot's esports code of conduct, The case is closed. Although some people did seem to respect the decision, many more were outraged, claiming it was disrespectful to all the people that played this game and favoritism towards China. In a follow-up, TFT game director Mortdog took to Twitch to explain that the team investigating this did a ton of research into the allegations and that he trusts their conclusions.
Do I think that Riot is being owned by Tencent and bowing down to some China overlord because a player secretly wants the China regime to win the TFT Worlds because that will show their superiority? Or do I believe that what happened was a 20-year-old kid playing TFT, flustered in the moment, made a stupid decision on a 6-loss streak because he was freaking annoyed like most gamers are when they play the game? Which of those is more likely? Probably the latter.
Could Shitouren have simply been tilted and made the wrong moves because of it? Sure. But it seems the majority of fans aren't convinced or happy with this outcome. But before we end things here, there are a few interesting aspects that caught my attention that I just want to leave with you guys. Match fixing and manipulation are obviously against Riot's code of conduct, Article 4.14 to be exact. But this wasn't even listed as one of the investigations into their ruling, which I would have thought they would have at least mentioned, even if they couldn't find anything. Now, instead what was referenced was Article 4.2, underperformance, which states that players need to play to the best of their ability and not intentionally throw. So, in this specific case, what Riot is claiming is that Shitouren didn't throw even if he was tilted. That maybe he just played really bad. Even if he was throwing, like, where do you draw the line? For example, like in hockey, it's a big thing called, like, you tank on purpose to get the final, or to get the highest chance at getting the first round draft pick. It's just frowned upon, but like the Leafs clearly did it and got Austin Matthews for it, right?